Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, inshallah, we are talking about optimizing with linear programming. If you remember graphing or solving a system of the inequality, after graphing the lines, they are intersect at one point. Then we choose the shaded part, the common shaded part. That would be the solution for the region. In this lesson, we have more than two equations. It means they can intersect and they will form a bounded one of the two shapes. Bounded shape or bounded region or unbounded region. The bounded region, if they are intersect and they forming a closed shape. They are now we have they are intersect and they are forming closed shape. It means the common shaded part, it lies inside the shape. That's defined by the bounded region. And the unbounded region, if they make open shape, the shape is not closed. It means we have unbounded shape. We have two lines are parallel and the third intersect with them. It means now we have unbounded shape. So you know the difference between the bounded and unbounded shape?
So could you repeat one more time, please?
Again for this one. You remember solving inequality, system of inequality?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay, so after graphing, suppose that we graph the first one, that's the first one, and that's the second one. So we can say that's the common shaded part. Okay?
Yes.
In this lesson, we'll know one more, we need to graph one more equation.
Okay.
One more inequality. So it could intersect by this way. So we have now a closed shape. And the common shaded part lies between them. If the common shaded part lies between them, that's defined by the bounded shape.
Okay.
If they are intersect by this way, two parallel line and one line intersect them, so we have here, this shape is open shape, unbounded. So that's the difference between the bounded shape and the unbounded shape.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. For the bounded shape, we have, they can intersect at 3 or 4. It depends on the number of equation. After intersecting, we can find the coordinate of each vertex. After that, we'll know how we can solve it. So for the first question that we have, we need to graph the system with inequality, and then we need to name, after that, we need to name the coordinate of the vertices. Then we need to find the maximum and the minimum. That is the new part. So we have to, the first question, graph the system with inequality. And we know how we can graph the system with inequality. Any problem for graphing the system?
No,
Any
sir.
problem? Okay. The second part, we need to name the vertices. After intersecting, they are intersect at one point. All what we have to do for naming the vertices, for example, this point is 2 and the -3. This point is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. So that's 4 and 2. This point will be -2 and +4. That is the meaning of naming the vertices.
Okay.
The third question that we have, we need to find the maximum and the minimum. So how we can find it, that's what we will know today, inshallah. So the first equation, yes, from the vertex.
Okay.
So for the first equation that we have, for the first inequality that we have 2x plus 3y is greater than or equals -12. You remember how we can graph this one? Step number 1.
It's 2y
It's
and
divisible
3x.
Sorry,
by
2y plus 3x. So at the first step is 2y plus 3x is equals to
-12.
-12. So we can divide -12 by 2 and 3, so we can find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. When x is equals to 0 and when y is equals to 0.
2y equals -12.
So for the first one, 2y
2y
equals -12, it means y is equals.
-6.
-6.
So the ordered pair will be 0 and -6. For the second one,
X
X
equals
x equals to -12.
-4. It means the order pair now will be -4 and 0. So we can graph the first one. I will make the scale 2, even for the vertical or the horizontal. Okay. So the first one is 0 and -6. That is the first one. And the second, -4 and 0. It will be line.
Solid.
The line will be solid line. So it would be here. So which part would be shaded?
Above. Left. No.
Because now we have y is positive and that's greater than, it will be above the shape. So that will be the shaded part here. The shaded part would be here. So that's the part would be shaded and this part will not be shaded. So that's for number one. Number two, we have y is equals 3x plus 12. How we can graph this one?
Y-intercept and then
Y-intercept, we can find the slope is equals to 3 and the y-intercept b1 equals to 12. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I think 12 would be here. This is the problem. I need the exact value. So because the slope now is 3, so it would be 3 over 1. 3 over 1. 3 over 1, it could be written as -3 over -1 because you can go up and right. We can go down. Or we can say that it will be -6 over -2 because I make the scale equals 2. So I'm going down 1, 2, 3, then going 2, I'm going down, then going to the left.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, then 1. To the exact point, I'm going down 1, 2, 3, then going to the left. So this line will be also closed line, solid line. Just 1 minute. That's the second line. Which part will be shaded?
So the left part?
Right. Part number 1 or part number 2?
Number 1.
Number 2.
Number 1. Why number 1? If there is a confusion for that, just replace x with 0 and y with 0. 0 is smaller than 3, smaller than or equal 3 times 0 plus 12. Is this right?
More than. So the sign is the.
For number, this one. 0 is smaller than or equal 3 times 0 plus 12. Is this right or wrong?
So right.
Right, so we shade the part which contains the point 0 and 0, so we shade this part. So that's until now, that will be the common shaded part. Until now, that's the common shaded part.
Okay.
For the inequality number 3, now we have y equals 3x minus 6.
So m equals 3 over 1.
M is equals 3 over 1 and y-intercept with -6. So we start from -6. From the slope, you find that we have two equal slopes. It means we have two parallel lines. The two lines will never intersect. Let me check because the order of the question here is different. Maybe by mistake I changed the order. Let me check number 2. Number 3. Maybe I changed the order, I think. I want to solve number 1 and the first. Okay, no problem. Can go back now. Okay, so how we can graph this one?
-6 and.
We're going up 3 and right 1. So that's how the graph will be look like. Which part will be shaded?
Left.
Below, right.
Left, above the line. 0 is greater than or equal 0 minus 6. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. So we'll shade the part which contains the point 0 and 0. So that would be the shaded part. Any problem now until now?
No.
I think all of that we did before. Now we need to name the value of the vertices. The vertices that we have vertex number 1, and that is the second one. So suppose that is this vertex is A or B, without any name, no problem. What is the value of this vertex? The scale is 2.
-4 and 0.
-4 and 0. What is the value of this one?
-6, 0, -6.
0 and then -6. There is no other point. Any problem now for naming the vertices?
No.
Any problem for naming the vertices? Okay. The last part is that we need to find the minimum and the maximum. What is the meaning of this equation? This equation f of x and y equals 9x minus 6y. It means we need to use the function and replace the value of x and y from the ordered pair by using the ordered pair. So suppose that's the point A and that's the point B, or that's the vertex B. We need to use the vertex to find if the graph has a minimum or maximum point. Then we start from down to up or from left to right, no problem for that. We need to choose, this is the first one, f of x equals, I will write only this one, f of x and y is equals 9x minus 6y. So all what I have to do just replacing the ordered pair. For A, that's for A.
Mister, excuse me.
Yes.
Yes. Maximum and minimum in terms of what direction?
Not direction, the value that we'll find. That's what I'm explaining now. I'm explaining step by step. The first one, graphing. Any problem for graphing? I said for this question, we have three ideas. The first one, graphing. Any problem for graphing?
No.
Okay. Any problem for naming the vertices?
No.
Okay. Now we need to find the value of the maximum and the minimum. How we can find the value of the maximum and the minimum? From the last equation that we have. F of x and y is equals 9x minus 6y. So how we can find it?
Okay.
That is the first one. Just replace x with -4 and replace y with 0. So what is the value that you will find here?
-42.
Negative
42.
42. How negative 42?
-36.
-36 minus 6.
Minus 6 times 0.
Oh yeah, -36.
-36. Now we need to find f of the second point, 0 and -6. Now we would have, what is the value for this one?
-36.
This is 36.
So it will be
36, yeah.
9. Just 9 times 0 minus 6 times -6. So it will be equals 36. So now we have here, the first one is 36. If you go down, it means the value now would be 36. Let me check this one. Now the first value here is 36. If you are going up, the graph is going up and right. It means the graph is going up. By increasing, what will happen to the value for each point? That is the lower point. That is the minimum point. That is the point down at the bottom. The point at the bottom, you find that the value now is 36. By going up, what will happen to the graph? The graph is going up or down?
Up.
The graph is going up. By going up with the graph, what will happen to the value?
Will increase.
The value will increase or decrease?
Increase.
Again for this one. What is the meaning of the minimum and the maximum? By using the function that we have now, what will happen to the answer? By using the vertices. That is the meaning of linear programming. For this one, for the first point here that we have, it will be, what is the answer for this one? It will be 36. What is the value for this point? It becomes -36. Now we are going from down to up because the graph is open upward. The graph is open up. So we start from down and going up. What will happen to the graph? At the first point, the value of the function was 36. When we go up, what is the value of the function?
Oh, so it decreases.
-36. It means it's the function. When we are going up, if you choose any point here, suppose that I'm choosing point here. What is the coordinate of this point?
Lower than -36.
What is the value of this point? What is the coordinate of this
2
point?
and
2 and 6. 2 and 6. Can you, by substitution at this function? 9 times 2 minus 6 times 6. What is the value?
-18.
Be 18 minus 36. It will be -18. What if I choose any other point here? Suppose that I'm choosing a point here. What is the value here?
110.
2 and 10.
This one is 4
2
and
and 10.
2 and 10,
2
sorry.
and 10. 2 and 10.
2 and 10. By substitution,
18
9
minus 60.
times 2 minus 6 times 10, which equals
Negative 42.
negative 42. It's mean the value now, when you're going up, what will happen to the function? The values increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Decreasing.
Decrease. It's mean this function, when we are going up, the value will decrease. It's mean there is a maximum value for the function. But because the function is unbounded, it means there is no minimum. I don't know the minimum. I know the minimum only if I have here. Again, we said that we have a bounded and unbounded. What is the difference between them? For the bounded, we have a maximum. You can find a maximum value and the minimum value. What is the minimum, maximum value, and the minimum value? By choosing the vertices that we have now and using substitution at the function, the given function, then you have the highest value for the function and the lowest value for the function. The highest value will be the maximum value for the function, and the lowest one will be the minimum value for the function. But for the bounded, we have one of the two cases. You have minimum or maximum. You couldn't have both of them for the unbounded. So for the bounded, you will find minimum and the maximum. But for the unbounded, you have only minimum or maximum. So you need to check which value that you have. You have a minimum or maximum. You understand this point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it clear?
This is unbounded, right?
Mr. I have a
Unbounded, it means you have only one value, which is maximum. For this function, it will be maximum. Leave the position of the point. With this point, if I use it at the function, what will happen to the value of the function? The value of the function will be the highest value that I will get or the lowest value.
The highest value.
You understand it now? If you choose any
Yeah.
value, any point here, if I'm going up also, I'm going up and I'm going to the right, you will find the same. This point also belongs to the graph, to the solution. If you choose this point, which is 4 and 10, you will find also it will be less than 36. You will not find any values greater than 36. It means the maximum value will be 36. But the
for the
minimum,
point 2 and 6, isn't negative 18 higher than negative 36?
which one?
For the point 2 and 6.
Compare between the answer. Compare between the answer. What is the answer that you find from? I said, I'm just saying now. Leave the position of the point. Leave the position of the point. At this point, what is the relation between this point and the value that you will find from the function?
Okay.
That is the meaning. For the maximum and the minimum, just look at the results. You remember the parabola?
Yeah.
The quadratic function? For this function, the function has minimum or maximum point?
Minimum.
Minimum point. Why there is no maximum point?
Because it keeps
That
on
is
going
the low.
up.
Yes, that is the lowest point at the graph, and the function is going up. It's mean it's keep going up. It's mean there is
So
no
it's R.
maximum. Yes, but if I make it open downward, it will be there is maximum point.
Maximum.
But the graph is going down, but it has maximum point. That will be the same. Why it's going up or right? By the way, this point at the right, suppose that I say it's intersect at the point -4, and this one intersect at the point 5. So what is the value of the minimum point here?
Negative 4.
-4. You just look at y. What is the meaning of y? Which is f of x, the value of the function. At which value the function has the minimum point. You understand it? At which value of x the function has minimum point. The function has minimum point when y equals -4. That is the point. At which ordered pair, at which vertex the function has minimum or maximum point. At this point, at the point B, the function will have a maximum point. You understand it?
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can go solve question number 2. What is the meaning of this one? X is greater than -2 x is smaller than y. What is the mean? What is the difference between y equals 2 and x equals 2? What is the difference between them for the graph? My question, what is the difference between the graph y equals 2, x equals 2? What is the difference between them? The graph of y equals 2, x equals 2. That's my question.
Y equals 2 parallel to x-axis.
Yes, it's a horizontal line. And x equals 2, it will be
Vertical line.
Vertical.
Okay, so we need to graph this one. I graph it here. So when I say that x is greater than -2 and is smaller than 6, so it's mean now I will graph that's the first one. From -2, it's parallel to y-axis. It will be a vertical line from -2. And the other one will be 6 at 6. Is it clear, this one? So that is the first line. And that will be the second line. Both of them for the inequality number 1. So what is the meaning of x is greater than -2 and x is smaller than 6? It means the shaded part will be lies between them. The solution is between the two lines. The common shaded region between them. What is the meaning of y is greater than or equals 1 and is smaller than 5?
Horizontal to x-axis.
It will be horizontal line. So for the horizontal line will be, for the first one, at 1, and the second one at 5. Any problem for that?
No.
Okay. So I will make the scale equals 2 because there is enough space, no problem. I'll make the scale equals 2. Again for this one. There's someone is talking now. Again for this one?
Yeah, again.
Again, okay. Again for this one. I will draw the coordinates. That's the coordinates that we need. Because I need this one here. That's x and that's y. What is the meaning of x is greater than or equal to -2 and is smaller than 6? It's mean represented by a vertical line parallel to y and intersect x. The first line will intersect x at the point. Which point? -2 and the positive 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at this part. Any problem for the first inequality? When I say x equal, it must be vertical line. But when I say y equal, it must be horizontal line. So that's the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is the second one. From the graph, it will be bounded. Which part will be shaded part? The common between them. This one, this rectangle.
Yes.
But that is the second one. Now we need to graph the third one. What is the meaning of y equals x plus 3? It means the slope equals 1 and the y-intercept equals 3. So from 3, I'm going up 1 and run 1. So that's how the graph will be look like. The graph, the shaded part will be above or below the line?
Below.
Below the line. If you choose 0, it is smaller than or equal 0 plus 3. Is it right? Yes, 0 is smaller. Yeah, 0 is smaller than 3. So we'll shade the part which contain the point 0 and 0. So this will be the shaded part. This one, starting from here. That will be the shaded part. That will be the solution. So now that is the first point that we graph the inequality. Point number 2, What is the point number 2? Find the vertices. So what is the value of this vertices? This one is -2 and 1. That is A. You can choose any order, by the way, -2 and 1. The order is not important for me. This one is 2 and 5. This one is, so that's B.
Excellent.
That's C. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would be 6 and 5. This one would be D, would
6
be
and 1.
6 and 1. At which equation, or at which
How
function,
did
as the
you
function?
graph? How
How
did you
do-
graph number
Go
1?
back to lesson number 1, lesson number 2, and you will remember how we can graph. -5x plus 2y. Okay. Then at the first point, point A, which is -2 and 1.
Equals -5
So
times
-5 times -2 plus 2 times 1.
12.
So this will be 10 plus 2 equals 12. At the point B,
2.5.
2 and 5. So it will be -5 times 2 plus 2 times 5. So it will be equals 0. C,
6 and 5.
6 and 5.
-5
So
times
-5 times 6
5
plus 2 times 5. This would be -30 plus 10 equals -20.
6 and 1.
20.
Yeah, -2.
Okay. 6 and 1.
-5.
-30 plus 2.
-5 times 6 plus 2 times 1, which equals
-28.
-28.
-28. What is the maximum value that we have here?
A.
A. Leave the position, slice at the left. But when at this value, at this point, the function has the maximum point. You understand? I didn't ask you for the vertex. Is this the maximum or not? Leave the point.
Okay.
At which point, at which vertex, the function has maximum point.
Vertex A.
You understand? At vertex A, that has maximum point.
Yes.
At which one has minimum point?
D.
At D. So when the graph is bounded, you will have maximum and minimum. When the graph is unbounded, the graph has only maximum or minimum. Okay? If the graph is open to the right, start from the left. Then check if you are going to the right. The value will increase or decrease. If the value is increased, it means you have minimum point. If the value is decreased, it means you have maximum point. If the graph is open, downward. The graph is open down. Start from up and going down. What will happen to the value of the function? If you choose any point, what will happen? The function now will increase after by substitution. The answer that you will find, the answer will become more or less, increase or decrease. If the answer is increase, it means you have minimum. If the function is decreased, it means you have maximum. It's depend on the position on the graph. The graph is open. The graph is unbounded. It means it's open from one of the side. If that's open, up, start from down and going up. So open to the right, start from left and going to the right. So open down, start from up and then going down. If the graph is open to the left, start from right, then going to the left. You understand? Just take the point from right. Then when you are going to the left, what will happen to the answer? That's the meaning of the unbounded. Any problem for this one?
No, sir.
Okay. Again, for this one, how we can graph x is greater than, what is the meaning of y equals to? I repeat that, but you was sleepy, Sam. So y equals to, it's represented by a horizontal line parallel to x and intersect y at the point 2. X equals to, it's represented by a vertical line. So now we have two vertical lines, one at -2 and one at 6. For the second one, we have two horizontal lines, one at 1 and one at 5. The third one, it's oblique line because the slope is equals to 1. This is different between them. So I need you to solve question number 3, please.
Okay.
Solve question number 3 and send it to me. Solve question number 3 and send it to me, please.